What's up, amazing ladies and gentle people of YouTube? Thanks for tuning in once again. So on Wednesday, Apple held their much anticipated September media event where, as expected, they announced 3 new iPhones, new Apple Watches, and gave us further details on iOS 12 as well as macOS Mojave. So I want to start with those last 2 things first. So iOS 12 will be releasing to the general public on this upcoming Monday, September 17th, and the following Monday after that, they'll be releasing macOS Mojave to the public. So you may have had some hands-on time with the public beta, the developer betas of these 2 platforms, but either way, you'll get your, if you didn't, you'll get your first hands-on time with it very soon. Now, with that being said, I would say it's almost impossible to choose which iPhone stole the show today, yesterday, I guess, depending on when you're watching this, because really it was so jam-packed between the iPhone XR, which is the budget, I guess you can say budget, $750, you'd be the judge, but the iPhone XR that comes in a variety of colors. It has the overall same design concept as the iPhone X, but it does not have the OLED display, which is a deal breaker for myself and many other people included, I'm sure. But if you don't care about an OLED display, I can totally see why it would be a tantalizing option, because it is only $750 to start off with, which, again, I say only, but that's around the price of the iPhone 8 Plus or something of that nature of the past. And you now get that all-screen design. You get some beautiful color options, 3 storage options to choose from, which obviously it does go up in price depending on that. But it's not a bad option by any means if you don't care about some of those higher end features. And of course, it only has the single camera on the back, not the dual lens configuration of the higher end iPhone XS and XS Max. Then you get to the XS Max, and it's an entirely separate conversation, because the XS Max, in my opinion, I guess I just I didn't know which one stole the show, but I guess I have to say probably the XS Max, because the XS Max is OMG, so beautiful, oh damn, holy hell, whatever you want to call it, that is the phone that I am drooling over. It is so damn nice. And I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. It takes everything that I love about this guy, which I am just absolutely in love with the iPhone X. I've only had this a few months on it, right? Which is why I'm not upgrading to the XS Max right now. But nevertheless, it takes everything that you love about the iPhone X, but just simply makes it bigger and better. And of course, all these 3 new phones across the line take advantage of the new A12 Bionic chip. And of course, it goes without saying that even though the XS and XS Max are the top-of-the-line flagships, you're going to get a really good experience with any of these devices that you may choose. If you go from the iPhone XR or the XS or the XS Max, you're going to be very happy. But definitely the top-of-the-line options are where you're going to see Apple's best and most newest innovation come full circle. Now, with that being said, it's interesting because with this new XR, they're also doing this new display they're calling Liquid Retina, which is a very interesting, gimmicky name just to call it an improved LCD display. But nevertheless, that's interesting. Now, with the XS and XS Max, you are going to also get better battery life. You're going to get all these things that you would expect in normal upgrades. So, without further ado, I want to actually take you through and show you some of these, things that we saw today on stage and give you a visual element to what I'm saying. So besides the 3 new iPhones that Apple announced at Wednesday's New Year event, the Apple Watch Series 4 was announced with a brand new design including a larger display and some new color options. Now, this larger display should not be taken lightly. This is a fundamentally new shift in the design that will allow for a greater amount of complications in these watch faces. Apple showed that off in a new infograph infograph watch face, which is going to allow for up to 8 different complications. And on top of that, there's tons of new health features, including an electrical heart sensor, which will allow for real-time EKGs, which you can then show to your doctor, and a new digital crown with haptic feedback, so you'll get a sensation when you use it. For LTE models of the new Apple Watch, it'll no longer have that ugly red dot on the digital crown, but rather just a red outline, because now the back of the device will be ceramic. So the LTE signal should be able to pass through that relatively easily. And so all these new changes to the watch, and I'm really impressed with Apple for not increasing the price too awfully dramatically. I mean, I didn't feel like it was too bad an increase. It starts at $399 for the smaller size, which has now been bumped up to 30 millimeters. Though if you want the larger size, it's 34 millimeters. And the good news is, though, that the previous generation bands that are compatible with these other watches are still compatible with this next gen Apple Watch, which is always good. And of course, this is just showing you the optical heart sensor, the electrical heart sensor that's also built into that. And so it's really impressive how much Apple has packed into this little device. And of course, this is based on the new S4 chip that Apple has engineered. It's up to 2 times faster CPU performance. And there's so much to dive into when it comes to this new Apple Watch. But essentially, that is a very quick rundown of it. Now, this will be available for pre-order this upcoming Friday, and it will ship out a week later. And as I said, the pricing starts at $399 and goes all the way up to $529 if you want the larger size with LTE. And if you want stainless steel models, well, that's obviously going to cost you even more. Now, moving on to one of the other highlights of the show was actually the iPhone XR, which is kind of being marketed as the budget device, but not really. It kind of, in my view, takes the place of something like the iPhone 8 Plus of the past. So it has a 6.1-inch LCD display, and Apple's calling it a liquid Retina display. It's kind of a gimmicky name, but basically it just means that they are able to take this LCD display and stretch it to all the corners of the front of the phone. And of course, now it comes in that variety of colors, and it has as I mentioned earlier in the video, only one camera on the back instead of the dual camera configuration, which is a little odd for a phone of this price range in 2018, but that's okay. This is Apple we're talking about here. But the color options are nice, and it does come in 3 capacities, which of course will increase the price of the phone depending on what you want. And it's kind of like an iPhone 10, but just a little bit less of the high-end features to keep that price down, obviously. So, 6.1-inch display. And again, by all means, as I said earlier, if you don't care as much about the higher-end features of the XS or XS Max, you may actually find this option very appealing. But moving on now, last but not least, to the XS and XS Max, which, as I said before, I still think the XS Max was the absolute show stealer just because of it literally gives us everything. For those of us that love the iPhone 10, it gives us all that in a much bigger package. Which is always good because, again, the number one complaint about the iPhone 10 was that it's a wonderful phone, nice, but it could be a little bit bigger. So the XS Max starts at $1,100. It goes all the way up to almost $1,500 if for some reason you need 512 gigabytes of storage, which of course I know some people insist that they need. But it's just an overall incredibly impressive device. And I think for a couple of years now, Apple has been showing Android users that they can compete with other phones. iPhones are definitely no longer seen as the antiquated options of the smartphone industry, but now definitely, and I should be careful how I say that, but what I'm saying is now there's absolutely no way that Android users can look at these phones and say, oh, they can't compete with something from Samsung or Google Pixel or something like that. Because they absolutely can. And in my opinion, they blow the competition out of the water. And again, just my opinion. I know that has started some pretty fierce debates, but that's just me. So that gives you a very quick rundown of these devices. Oh, I want to go back to the iPhone XR for a second. This is not available until mid-October for pre-order, and the XS and XS Max are available this Friday. And again, just like the Apple Watch, they'll be shipping out a week later, so not too bad. I'm not entirely sure why Apple chose to wait a month later to release the XR, other than, I'm assuming, just to pace it out a little bit. So, with that being said, I think that gives you a pretty nice overview of what went on during Wednesday's keynote. Is it everything? Probably not. I'm sure I missed some things, but this is, I would say, most of the highlights of the event. So, what do you guys think? Are you excited about these new upgrades? Will you be upgrading to the XS or XS Max? Or maybe are you thinking more like the XR? I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. And I appreciate it that you guys tuned in. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you guys enjoy my content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. It really does help me out. And it just makes me feel good to see that you guys are enjoying my content. And if you don't like my content, well, thanks anyway for giving me a view. So until next time, peace out for now.